शुभफलैरेवम् शुभाशुभफलैरेवम् मोक्ष्यसे कर्मबन्धनैः सन्न्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपैष्यसि.
If you perform all your karmas dedicated to the Lord, this is also called Bhagavata Dharma, or this is called Karma Yoga, yoga of dedicated selfless action. The result will be Shubha Ashubha Phalair Evam Mokshase. Karma Bandhanaihi. Mokshase means you will be liberated, you will be freed from the bondages of karma characterized by good and bad results. Good and bad means dear, not dear results, that's what you get. You will be freed from that. Then sannyasa yoga yuktatma, then united with the sannyasa yoga, vimuktaha, san being freed, mam upaishyasi. You will become one with me. You will only marry with me. Now what is this shloka? Shubha ashubha phalairevam mokshase karma bandhane. This secret is like this. Generally, people perform karmas prompted by their personal likes and dislikes more than the knowledge of what is right and wrong. Right? Whatever we like to do, we never ask questions. Why should I do this? But when we don't want to do something, then you say, I am a rational person. I must know the reason for that doing that. Why should I go? If the mother says, go to the temple and do namaskar, why? God is everywhere. Oh, God is everywhere. What is the need of going to a temple? God is everywhere. Do you see Him anywhere? Do you see that God in your mother and father? Every day you are fighting with them. Reason is required. Acha, he smoked. Ask, is there any logical, valid reason to smoke? Don't ask such questions. But I like to. Whatever we like to do, we just do it. Whatever we don't like, then we ask many questions. Now see, when we perform karmas prompted by our likes and dislikes, what happens? Likes and dislikes become stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. That exactly is called impurity of mind. And then, what I like, if I get, I feel very happy. If I get what I don't like, then I am unhappy. And sometimes I get good result, bad result, pleasant, unpleasant, of my like or dislike. So all the time I am caught up. But in this karma yoga, what is said, when you perform the karmas to please the Lord, without your personal likes and dislikes, then when you are doing that karma, then what happens? All raga dveshas go away. And when the raga dveshas go away, the mind is purified. And this all the time oscillation between joy and sorrow and depression, elation and all this, they end. That is called moksha se karma bandhane. Otherwise you are bound. Because I do something with my like, that like becomes stronger. And then I do something with dislike. The dislike also becomes stronger. And all the time I am happy or unhappy. Another problem is my likes and dislikes also keep on changing. And the next thing is the world refuses to dance to our tune of likes and dislikes. Somehow we have seen whatever we like, it runs away from us. And whatever we dislike, it just comes, it always finds our address. And also we find whatever we like to do, always it is said, this is not right thing to do. One man said, recently I have been reading so many evil effects of smoking, drinking, indulging. So I have stopped reading only. He has given up reading. Not of that. Whatever. That one man said, whatever I like, it is either illegal, immoral or fattening. So we get very angry and all that. So we are bound. Karma bandha. But when we perform the karmas without personal likes and dislikes, but it is dedicated to God, then we are released from that raga dvesha. And then we are freed from karma bandhanas. And then Bhagavan says, sannyasa yoga yuktatma vimukto mam upaishyasi. So first stage what happens, we give up our raga and dveshas. I have likes, I have dislikes. So in the first stage of my spiritual practice, I give up likes and dislikes, and the higher stage, the I who had likes and dislikes, that I is only surrendered. That is called sannyasa. So when our mind is relatively, greatly freed from our raga dvesha, then mind becomes one with sannyasa yoga. This sannyasa yoga is a very interesting word. Sannyasa means renunciation, dissociation. Yoga means association. Sannyasa yoga yuktatma. How is that? That means sannyasa, we renounce our false identity. That I am a jiva, I am a doer, and I am an enjoyer. That I give up. And yoga means I realize Chaitanya Ananda Swarup Aham Asmi. So there is a sannyasa and there is a yoga also. Even at karma yoga level, since the doership, enjoyership is given up, therefore it is sannyas. But at the same time, selfless karma is done, therefore it is yoga. Sannyas yoga. Yoga of renunciation. That's what I was telling. In the beginning, we learn to renounce certain part of us, certain belonging to us. Then I surrender myself only. Ishwar Darshan, Bhagavan Raman Maharshi indicates very beautifully, Swayam tad anni bhavanam tadiksha. Becoming the food of Bhagavan is called seeing the Lord. What is that? To see the Lord means what? To become His food. You see, as long as the food is in my plate, it is different from me, isn't it? But the food of plate goes into my pet, goes into my stomach, then what? It has become one with me. So, the jiva surrenders himself, becomes the food of Bhagavan, but that we have become one with Bhagavan. These are such beautiful things and such psychological truths that are revealed here. Most wonderful. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurusha madarpanam. So when any karma you have done for the Lord, then you will not feel, I done so much better, what did I get? Such thought does not come. Dhanam also, when you have given with the buddhi that you are giving to God, then the question someone deserves or not, does not deserve, that question also doesn't arise. Because if you do give to other way, to someone, then you may feel, I don't know, this person deserves or not deserves. Question may arise. But when you are going to God, where is the question of? Thus you are freed. Then शुभाशुभ फलैरेवं मोक्षसे कर्म बंधने संन्यास योग युक्तात्मा विमुक्तः, then you are totally freed from what you call the ignorance. Ignorance created wrong notions. Mam upaishyasi, and you become one with me. Become one with me. That's what was first shloka only says. Idam tute guyyatamam pravaksham menasuyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajnatva mokshase ashubhat. What he said in the first shloka, see, remember, Bhagavan has not lost sight of that statement. He is again saying, Vimukto mam upaishyasi. That's what it is said. Now, some people are there always asking question. Now what is your question? Bhagavan, I think you are very partial. Partiality. Only such devotees, you have talked about sannyasa yoga yuktatma, then liberated, they come to you. You become one with them, you say, or they become one with you. And what about others? Then you are not available to others, and then you are very partial to such devotees. There are many people who feel like that. Bhagavan has partiality. You know? Now, only to some people you bless, some others. Bhagavan said, no, no such thing. How? Next sloka.
Samoham sarvabhuteshu Samoham sarvabhuteshu Na me dveshyosti na priyaha Na me dveshyosti na priyaha Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya Mayi te teshu chapyaham Mayi te teshu chapyaham.
Bhagavan says, no partiality. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. I am same, samaha, same to all beings and in all beings. Sarva bhuteshu is a locative case. So that means in all beings I am the same, or to all beings I am same. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. Name dveshya asti, name priyaha. Name priyaha. Nobody is dear to me, or dveshya means non-dear to me. I have no such kind of preferences, likes and dislikes. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. Name dveshyosti na priya. But remember, all people are not same towards me. You please understand. I am same to all, but they are not same to me. It is true or not? There are people who don't believe even the existence of God. What to talk of loving that God? Which God? And those who seek that God, they say, you are fools. Isn't it? So there are people who do not believe also in the existence of God. Some people have doubt. Sometimes they feel, I think it must be there. Sometimes, but I am not very sure it is there or not there. Some atheists are there, some agnostics are there. And some people are such, they think, yes, God is there, but it can never be known. It will always be unknown only. Ajneyavadi there. Unknowable. Bhagavan can never be known. And even those who believe in his existence, do you think all people love him? No. And even those who love him, do they love him for his own sake? No. So how many varieties are there? Huh? Bhagavan says, I am same to all, but all are not same to me. And since they are not same to me, the difference in the result will be there. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya. But those people who love me, worship me, try to gain me, know me, are devoted to me, then naturally, mayite teshu aham. They are in me and I am in them. Therefore, other people may think it is partiality, but it is not partiality. If you say it is partiality one way, it is true. Yes, it is a partiality. But it is not because of Bhagavan, but because the devotee is worshipping him. You know, on this shloka, Bhagavan Shankaracharya has given a beautiful example how Bhagavan is same to all. Suppose it is very severe winter, cold, and some people, they make a fireplace and they sit near that fire. Wow. And some other person stands far away from them. Does not come anywhere near. And then shivering in cold. And then you say, see, that fire is so partial. Partial to all those people who are sitting near, and they are getting the warmth, and then I am here shivering. Now fire said, is it my fault or your fault? I am warm to everybody. But those who will come near me, they will get the warmth. And those who keep that distance, then what can I do? You also come, welcome. Bhagavan says, come here. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, I am here standing there, available to everybody. Then why don't you come to me? In other place, Bhagavan Shankaracharya has given the example, Ishwarastu parjanyava drashtavyaha. God should be looked upon like the rains. The rains, they are everywhere same, in all fields. But that farmer who has prepared his field properly, taking care, at right time he has sown the seeds, and then he gets good crops, and the other person has done nothing. So is it a fault of the rains? No. Now, other way you look at. See, Bhagavan is same to all or not. The space, air, fire, water, earth is equally available to everyone or not. Even the one who does not believe in God, has Bhagavan stopped oxygen supply to that man? No. Even if that person also does the karmas, he also gets the karma phalas. Even wicked people also, they do something wicked also, but that karma also phala will come. Bhagavan will not say that you will not get the karma phala. Everybody will get the karma phalas. The sunlight, the moonlight, the starlight, and everything is same. Bhagavan is same to all. And as life also, he is same in all beings. There are tiger, lion, elephant, a mosquito, a fly, an insect, human being, plants. That life is same in all. So where is the partiality? So the point is, when Bhagavan says, those people freed from our ignorance, they come to me, and the others do not come to me, so that it's not a partiality on my part, but it is their non-seeking and non-pursuing on their part that creates the difference. But I am available to you also. So therefore, you come to me, start worshipping me. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya. But those who worship me, love me, naturally they come near me. Maite, they are in me and I am in them. We become one. Still Arjuna looked little depressed only. Bhagavan said, now what is the problem? Now why you are so looking really sad? Bhagavan, yes, my problem you can never understand. Oh, what such a difficult problem which I cannot understand. Now Bhagavan, I understand that if I worship you or anybody worships, that person will come near you. But Bhagavan, I have done so many sins already, committed so many sins. How can I come and face you? How can I come anywhere near you? That type of thought also comes to some people. You know, once what happened, some person came to our Swamiji, our Gurudev, and said, Swamiji, you know, I am scared of going to the temple, or I am hesitant to go to the temple. Swami said, why? He said, you know, I am such a sinner, I have done a lot of papas. So then how can I go to the temple and stand in front of God? And then how? And Swami said, the temple is meant for you only. Because the one who is the holy of holies and the one who has realized God is every, he doesn't need any temple. You know, it is something, suppose a person is sick and unwell and what a problem, physical health problem, and suppose he says, how can I go to the hospital? Are a hospital is made for whom? Not for a healthy wrestler. Only those who are suffering from something, the hospital is made for that. How can I meet with that doctor? The doctor is made for whom? So sometimes, but such thoughts do come in our mind. Am I eligible to even worship and be devoted? Bhagavan says, most assuring and reassuring, statement that he makes in the next shloka. Now see, beautiful. Again, every shloka is beautiful. That's what I say. Every shloka I say it is beautiful. It is beautiful. What to do? Yes.
Api che suduracharah, api che suduracharah, bhajate mamananyabhak, bhajate mamananyabhak, sadhureva samantavyah, sadhureva samantavyah, samyak vyavasito hi saha, samyak vyavasito hi saha.
Bhagavan says, apichet suduracharaha. Even if there is a person, durachara means man of bad conduct, and sudurachara means the one who had topped the list of bad conduct. All possible bad conduct that he has done in his life. Durvyavhar, anachar, durachar, papachar, bhrashtachar, vyabhichar, everything. Apichet sudurachara. Even if there is a person who has committed all kinds of sins and a man of bad conduct, but bhajate mam ananya bhak, but realizes his mistake and bhajate starts worshipping me, ananya bhak, with single pointedness of mind, ananya bhak, then sadhureva samantavyah. Once he has started worshipping me, you should not say he is a sinner, but he is sadhu only. Sadhureva samantavya. Why? Because samyak vyavasito hi saha. Now he has made the right resolve. Samyak vyavasita. I had read one story. There was a king camping in a forest. And one thief entered the king's tent, and he stole a very precious necklace and ran. But it so happened the king himself saw him taking and running, and the king started chasing him. And that man ran like anything, and he happened to see a cottage, a hut of some sannyasi. So that thief entered that. Sannyasi was not there, but some his clothes were there, and some that fireplace and the ashes were there. What he did, quickly he wore the sannyasi's clothes and put that necklace and covered with the ashes and sat. The king also was chasing him. King did not see this man entering, but he also saw a cottage, and he was a religious man. He thought, oh, there is some Swami sannyasi, let me go and have darshan. Even if I don't find the thief, at least I will find a Swami. And he saw a Swami. He did namaskar. Swamiji Maharaj, I am so lucky that I found you here. Now that actually thief, his heart was pounding. But suddenly a thought came to his mind. He thought, I am not a sannyasi. I am only a thief. I am only wearing the garb of a sadhu, and the king thinks I am a sadhu. He is doing namaskar to me. Only with the dress. So if I become sadhu, what it will be? Because the king bows down to a sadhu. And there was a change of his heart. And he said, Maharaj, please don't prostrate to me, because I am not a sadhu. I am a thief who stole that necklace, and see, it is there, it is ashes. Please take that. But that king was also great. He did namaskar to him again. And he said, don't say you are a thief. You can say you were a thief. You are no more a thief now, because the very fact you admit that, and then you say, so now no more. That's why sometimes they say, every sadhu also had a past, and every sinner also has a future. So nobody is a gone case or lost case. Even the Valmiki's story that he can become a great sage also, if we realize that. So Bhagavan says, apiche suduracharaha. See, every person has got right to worship the Lord. And nobody has to feel that he or she is not qualified. That's the beauty of Bhakti Marga. Everyone has got entry there. No special qualification required. And if you don't have any special qualification, you are most qualified for Bhakti Marga. For others, they may ask, what are your qualifications? But not in Bhakti. That's what Bhagavan says. Why he should be understood as sadhu, not a papi? Because one meaning he has given, samyak vyavasita hai. Now he has made a right resolve. And then, continuing the story, Bhagavan says, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma.